Have you ever woken up one day with the complete and utter desire to tackle all of your greatest ambitions? Maybe you decide that you're going to become a pro athlete, win the Tour de France, graduate from Harvard, or finally pay off that credit card debt that's been piling up for so many years. Well, me too. And so it begins. We start waking up before sunrise. We go out for a run. We're eating healthy. We're hyper-focused on the goals that we are so determined to persevere. But suddenly it comes to a screeching halt. Your alarm goes off in the morning and we don't get out of bed. Our newfound habits start to fade and we slip back into our old routines. What happened here? Where did this motivation go and how can we get it back? This is actually something that's happened to me quite often. I would say every few months I'll sort of lose this mojo. I'll sort of lose this drive that I've had for so long. And what I've done is I've taken a step back and I've analyzed why I lose motivation in some cases and how you can get it back as quickly as possible, because sometimes this could be something that is totally unexplainable. It's difficult to put your finger on it. And so I'm going to provide 3 primary points and reasons why I think we lose motivation and how we can get it back as fast as possible. Now, the first thing we need to understand here is that we sort of have this thing where if we stop seeing progress, we can easily lose motivation. I sort of call this like the progress motivation feedback loop. It's almost a circle here where maybe we start with motivation, we're motivated towards something, so we work towards it, which then leads to progress. And when we see that progress, it further motivates us. It's almost like a staircase, right? We have progress, motivation, but as soon as we start to see that slip in progress, maybe we hit a wall, we're running into a wall, we start to lose that progress, then suddenly we lose that motivation. And sometimes this can be subconscious. So the way that I see this is pretty simple. I think it's important to focus on working smarter before you work harder. This is going to be the best way to circumvent this. Instead of just trying to run through a wall that you're hitting, try going around the wall. And sometimes this can take a while, but you can take a step back and analyze what you've been doing and how you've been doing it. For example, let's say that you want to run in the Boston Marathon. Let's say that you want to win the Boston Marathon. And so you set out, you start running every day, 50 miles a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. What's the problem with this? Well, any runner would know that you need to take some easy days, some off days, some rest days to recover. So even though you're running 50 miles a day, you're focusing really hard on grinding and trying to work really hard to reach those goals, but you're not working very smart. You're working hard, you're not working smart. And I think this is sometimes the problem that people like Gary Vaynerchuk can throw out there, and people misconstrue his words. I don't think he means this, but sometimes we can focus so much on working hard, but we don't work smart. And so my idea here for you is to continue to see progress. Focus on working smart, then work hard. With this YouTube channel, I spent 3 months working very hard on it, and then I had to stop. I said, this isn't working. I have 200 subscribers. What can I do to fix this? So I realized I just started working smarter rather than harder, and it tended to work out, right? So that's what I want you to do if you are running into any wall, because that is going to significantly hinder your motivation if you stop seeing progress at any given point. You always need to re-engineer and innovate to continue to grow. All right, so the next thing that I believe can hurt our motivation, or we can start to lose motivation from this, is when we set unrealistic goals. And this can be goals that are both far too high and far too low. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I only hit about 30 to 40% of my goals that I set on an annual basis. And I actually find this to be the sweet spot. See, if you're hitting all of your goals, they're probably too easy. If you're running an 8-minute mile at the moment, and next year, 12 months from now, you want to run a mile 15 seconds faster. You want to run it in 7 minutes and 45 seconds. What's the problem with this? Well, it's a pretty easy goal to accomplish. I mean, you're only shaving off 15 seconds off of your mile time. You can probably do it with not too much extra work. And so because this goal is too easy to attain, you're probably not going to work very hard towards it, and you're going to find yourself difficult to motivate yourself towards reaching that because it's just too easy to attain, and so you'll end up being lazy. But on the flip side, if we look at a goal of, say, you're running an 8-minute mile, and next year you want to beat the world record and beat Al Garouge and run it in 3 minutes and 42 seconds. This is probably going to be very difficult to do. This is something that you can't just wake up one day and end up in the Olympics by next year and break the world record. It's going to be really difficult to do that. And so when it's too difficult, you find yourself losing motivation, sometimes, of course, subconsciously, but when your alarm goes off in the morning and you look at it and you think, is this worth it? Can I actually reach this goal of breaking the world record? And deep down, you tell yourself, it's not feasible, it's not possible, And so you then lose motivation from that as well. So finding that sweet spot. For me, it tends to be when I set a goal or I have something that I'm motivated towards, I'm working towards, usually it's 95% of people think that you're crazy and 5% of people think that it's actually feasible or possible. That tends to be the sweet spot. You know, you want most people to think it's not possible, but you want some people to know that it is actually still possible. Okay, now the third idea that I want to present to you is when we are lacking purpose, we can lose motivation. So the way I see this is you have to understand your drive. And this is something that I really did take quite a bit of time to try to find out why I've lost motivation towards certain goals that I've set. And sometimes it's because when you have to look at your purpose or the reason why you are working towards this, if it's something personal, if it's something about you, I find it's not as great of a driver as something that is far greater than yourself. So if it's a personal goal, let's say at one point I wanted to get this channel to 100,000 subscribers. Well, it reached 100,000 subscribers and I was kind of scratching my head and saying, well, now what do? I've already reached it. I've reached that personal goal. It was great. But if it's a goal that's far greater than yourself, I think this can be such a great driver. And I'll actually show you a couple of examples of people in the coming minutes here. But look at somebody like Elon Musk, actually. You know, so Elon Musk, his driver, it's far bigger than just himself. He doesn't care about how much money's in his bank account. He doesn't care about how many likes he gets on Twitter, because his goals or the things that he's motivated towards are so much larger than himself that it doesn't really matter about him. It doesn't have anything to do with him. Now, you could take this on a much smaller level. Not everybody wants to go to Mars. A lot of us can just focus on this on a smaller level when analyzing the things that you're focused on or motivated towards. What is it that's driving you towards that? And if it's something like family, right? Maybe you want to become financially free, not just for yourself, but more so become financially free so that you can help your family, so you can put your kids through college, right? And those goals and those motivators are far more impactful than something like yourself, right? You want to go help your community. You want to take care of your community. That's a far greater driver than just you as a person and your personal greed or anything along those lines. That's something that I think is very crucial to comprehend. So to summarize this very quickly, focus on continuing that progress. How can we keep this progress going? Work smarter before you work harder. It's great to work hard, but make sure you work smart first. Next thing I want you to do is focus on setting the right goals, right? Not too high, not too low. And the third thing that you need to focus on is thinking about what's the driver, what's the reason for what it is that you're motivated for. And if it's something very personal, you know, sometimes your things change, right? Sometimes my goals change. The things that I'm motivated towards, they change. And that's okay because we change as people. But like I said, if it's something greater than yourself, you're going to find it much easier to be motivated towards that. Look at somebody like Barack Obama. Not to get into politics, I usually avoid talking about politics, but I don't think Obama became president in 2008 because he just wanted to be president. I think a lot of the driving reason why he was doing it is because he wanted to see the country go in a direction that he thought would be a good way. So it wasn't just about him getting in the White House, it was more so about putting the country in the direction that he wanted to see. And I think that's a great driver as an example there. Okay, so focus on those. You can always think about shocking your routine as well. You know, if you're working out Tuesday, Thursday, change it up, right? Change it up. Focus maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Work out different days. Start changing things up. If your routine is boring, it becomes stagnant. You become stagnant. You need to constantly change things up as well. So thanks for watching. You can tell I was a little bit energized in this video because I was excited for it. There's no script here. I just make these videos because I love making them. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see everybody in next week's video.